Hey every pony! Sorry for the inconsistent uploads. I've actually been putting a lot of work into a G5 fanfiction I've been publishing on femfiction.net. Feel free to go check that out, link in the description. So there's been a lot of talk about the lesbian representation there is or isn't in Friendship is Magic. Lots of headcanons and some canon as well. Not much to say on the gay front, since every character is female, but there isn't a lot of coverage of asexuality in the media. So I wanted to provide an asexual's perspective on My Little Pony. So who is the asexual I'll be interviewing today? Well, it's me. Hey y'all, the name is Peace Petal. Surprise, I'm asexual. Yay! If you saw an earlier video I made about shipping and gender stereotypes in My Little Pony, this might add a lot of context to that video. Turns out I've been asexual all my life. I just didn't call myself asexual because I didn't understand what the word means. So let me give a definition. Asexual. Involving or reproducing by reproductive processes such as cell division, spore formation, fission... Biologist. In a social context, asexual refers to a pony who does not experience sexual attraction. Once I got a clear definition of sexual attraction, I immediately knew that I had never felt it. Now that I know that I am asexual, looking back, this adds so much context to the way I've acted and felt and the opinions I've had all my life. One thing that makes more sense now is my stance on shipping in fiction. I am not a shipper. I don't ship any pair before they're canon, and even once they're canon, I usually complain about it. Romance in fiction usually turns me off, and if there's any sex at all, I'm out. Immediately, without fail. About 75% of the times two characters get shipped in a show, I nitpick. I complain about stereotyped representation, bad build-up, or other problems. For the longest time, I sincerely thought that whenever two characters were attracted to each other, the writers just threw their brains out and wrote nonsense. Turns out most ponies feel something I don't feel, so that's probably why most ships don't make sense to me. I also feel that the media is oversaturated in shipping, and friendship is an endangered species on screen. Too few shows take the time to develop friendships that aren't intended to become a romantic relationship. Platonic friendships are usually shallow and lack screen time, so whenever two characters seem really close, they get shipped. The result is that I get an overwhelming message from the media that platonic friendships aren't really meaningful. A relationship doesn't really mean anything until you've kissed. In other words, the media tells me that I am incapable of deep relationships. And then I found Friendship is Magic. This is part of why I love it so much. I never could have imagined a show that spends so much time developing friendships. The main six are so close, and each of their friendships are explored individually. Their friendships are the most meaningful relationships in their lives, even for the ones that have romantic interests. For me, the friendships in My Little Pony are a breath of fresh air in a world that seemed stale and indifferent to the way I feel. Do I headcanon any of the ponies as asexual? No, not really. I know asexuals aren't super common. Maybe some pony is asexual, but we wouldn't know because the show isn't focused on sexual relationships. But whether any pony is asexual or not, my asexual perspective on My Little Pony is that it is much easier to enjoy and relate to than other shows where friendships don't really exist. Obviously, this means I connect more with the show than the fandom. Some parts of the fandom are very sexualized, and shipping is rampant. My asexuality also explains why I had such a hard time swallowing Apple Dash. You took one of the show's flagship friendships and, well, from my asexual perspective, corrupted it. I'm not just asexual, I'm sex-averse. Now that I know that, it really helps me understand why I've always felt that adding a sexual or romantic element between two characters ruins their friendship. I don't think most ponies feel that way. I'm not saying what they did in the epilogue episode was wrong. What I'm really saying is, I'm glad I finally figured out why I felt that what they did was wrong. And while I'm at it, can the fandom please respect the fact that the writers actually left Apple Dash ambiguous? Rainbow has helped Applejack with chores before. There's nothing revolutionary about that. Of course a lesbian is going to ship this chip, and there's nothing wrong with that. But my asexual instinct is to reject it as not canon until we know for certain that they've had sex. And there's nothing wrong with that either. The writers left this ambiguous on purpose, and I'm not stupid, wrong, or homophobic for continuing to reject the ship. I'm just asexual. Anyway, that pretty much sums it up. I have realized that I am asexual, and that adds context to the anti-shipping tendencies I've had all my life. You may not have thought about it, but My Little Pony is an asexual's dream come true. This is far from the only reason why I love My Little Pony, but their portrayal of wholesome, meaningful, well-developed friendships is certainly part of why I enjoy MLP so much. Yay! I'm out. Folks tend to get angry and irrational anytime the alphabet soup is mentioned, so please be civil in the comments. Friendship is magic, y'all.